first responder or a patriot looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we want to put the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to Playtime. We got your 6 at 6. Now here's your host, Shad Turner of Veterans Unite Podcast and the People's Patriot Project. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Memorial Day version of We Got Your 6 at 6. I'm Shad Turner from Veterans Unite Podcast, and we've got Mark Peterson and Little Miss I'm driving in Iowa. I think she said Andrea Eichmann from People's Patriot Project joining us, and I think we've already got someone in our foxhole. So it should be a very interesting show today. I believe we are going to cue it up with Dave Bray's national anthem. So if I'm correct with that, Mark, let's go ahead and roll it. All right. So there we have it, folks. That was Dave Bray's national anthem. And Mark, Andrea, and we've got the real, not fake, the real Doug Lane with us today. So how are you guys doing as Mark goes off that way? And it looks like everybody is muted. So Anyway, so I currently am living in Clear Lake. Enjoying my Memorial Day down here. And we had fun driving around like crazy today, looking for stuff to try to baby-proof this boat. Because now that our Daphne, my daughter, is more mobile, we found out that she likes going over by the ladders or the access stairways going down to the master and down to the forward compartment and all kinds of places we don't want her to be. So we went around today trying to find stuff to help baby proof the boat a little bit. And yeah.
Well, have you tried just telling her no?
Oh yes, numerous times.
I mean, clearly there's something wrong. I mean, you're
the occasional
doing it
little
wrong.
pat on the butt, and it doesn't matter. She's still like, oh look, things I shouldn't play with. So, but yeah, so it's been fun. Andrea, what you doing?
I traded out of the driver's seat, so I am now just a passenger. But he's driving.
Very good.
Yeah, we're just checking out the lakes. The lakes is a very big deal on this weekend. It's like the first weekend at lakes. Everybody's here. We went and had breakfast in Sioux Falls at the Blarney Stone. So a good old Irish breakfast, and then we stopped at some little towns along the way. And you wouldn't believe these Iowa little towns and their flags at their cemeteries. It's so amazing. Little tiny cemeteries with 100 flags at them. It's way cool.
Well, alrighty then. Mark, how you doing, man?
So amazing. Little tiny cemeteries
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. Doing good. That's all I got.
That's all you got? Well, we do have someone on here that I know is never at a loss for words. Brian, how you doing?
Tired. 1,800 miles in the past 3 days.
Good Lord, what for?
Dropping off our fill the can, and I got invited to this little church on the upper northern end of Illinois.
Okay.
And I know it's barbaric because we went to dinner or lunch after church, and they didn't have sweet tea.
Oh my goodness!
Those bastards! How could they not have sweet tea?
Yikes!
Okay.
We don't talk like that.
I know. Sweet tea. Wow. No sweet tea, but no, dude, I just can't believe these little churches, as Andrew's saying, little cemeteries, these little churches have done more for this mission than the big mega churches in my area.
Wow.
That's all I'm going to say on it.
All right. Cool. Very good. And then, like I said, we have the real Doug Lane. So, Doug, what's going on, man?
Well, we're keeping it at home this weekend. We got a kid probably with some strep throat and yeah, not fun. But I remembered again. This is like 2 weeks in a row that I remembered you guys were doing this, and I figured I'd pop in there with a little bit of some Woodford Reserves and just hang out. And
that takes us back to the old days when we did What's in Your Cup, and we started this off as a social hour. And Doug, I believe you were in the original starts of the show over a year ago.
Is that a fact? I guess I didn't realize the historical significance of it at the time. I was just coming along to hang out and make wisecracks.
I love it. You're always welcome here. Brian's always welcome here. There was a little bit of struggle, and I'm just going to be very candid and up straight and forward. And I don't want it to be a miserable time. We want this to be a time of celebration. But there's a piece to that. Memorial Weekend is not an easy weekend for me. and there's some confusion because I just probably helped in that confusion just now by saying let's let it be a celebration, but it does need to be a celebration. But this is not a day that you walk up to someone and say Happy Memorial Day. This is a day to remember. This is a day. And I was trying to talk myself down a little bit at the beginning before the show started as to how aggressive I get with this, because I wear it on my sleeve a little bit. I was so blessed in where and how I got to serve, and I have nothing to complain about. I loved every minute of my time in service. But that is not the case for all the people that had the chance to serve. The thousands and thousands and thousands of lives that we lost to accommodate our fun weekend of a extended weekend so we can barbecue and spend time with our family. Don't get me wrong. I'm not raining on that. I'm not raining on the opportunity for you to spend time with your family and enjoy your family. And that's the piece that makes this so important, is the fact that you get to do that. The fact that you get to not worry about it. The fact that we had our brothers and sisters lay their lives on the line to accommodate. One of the saddest things that when I watch them go on to and board the board's not the right word, but beach on Iwo Jima and Normandy, two different places. I get it. But some of the photos that they took of the young men in those boats and how they are 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old boys who had nothing but life ahead of them. I'm not going to spoil the show, and I'm not going to sit here and wallow in pity and boo-hoo-hoo. But this weekend is a time to remember, and I say that, and we loosely throw the verbiage behind it with the People's Patriot Project. That, in all honesty, to remember is not enough. To remember is not enough the fact that we have the liberties that we have in this country, the freedoms we have in this country, the opportunities to go down to the store, to sit on the boat, to drive around in Iowa freely, to have the opportunity to build organizations that are here to accommodate the needs of our brothers and sisters. The fact that we've got musicians who can speak freely and sing the songs that they want to sing, how they want to sing them, when they want to sing them. That all came at a cost. That came at a cost. I don't think us, I'll include myself, us spoiled little brats of this country will ever feel the sting of. We've never had to fight for food. We've never had to fight for those freedoms in a sense. I mean, we still have brothers and sisters involved in as first responders and as veterans, or not veterans, military personnel. Yeah, thank you. They're still there and they're accommodating that freedom. But I mean, it's set in stone. I mean, we will never have to deal with that stuff ever again. I teach history, and sometimes having the conversation with the young men and women in my class that within a lifetime of my birth, we had tyrants on this earth that were taking out complete cultures across the world. And I'm talking about Hitler. And how that had to be stopped. And at least we have the common sense now that we don't have to deal with that. We got a ton of people 1.3 million people's lives lost so we can sleep safely at night. I need to get a little bit of understanding, Aaron. I'm glad you're here. I haven't spoken a word to nobody until here. Give us a little bit of background on that, and we'll see what that happens. Adam Jones is loving Dave Bray. I love it too, man.
Side note, tomorrow, right, is actual Observe Memorial Day. It's a national moment of silence at 3 p.m. So during all your cookouts, all your hot dogs, all your hamburgers, at 3 p.m., take a moment and stop and just go, thank you. That's it. And it's not for us living. It's for all of us, all of our brothers and sisters that came before us, that gave up their lives. So yes, we can have that cookout in the backyard. It's one simple thing. 3 o'clock, a moment of silence. That's a national moment of silence at 3 p.m. on Memorial Day.
I challenge everyone again. I'll just throw it in there right now. Remember our buddy checks. Aaron, thank you for being here again, bud. And I'd like to hear more about your story and what is going on in your brain. We're here for you always. And it sounds like this is a day that's a tough day for you as well. And I'm saying when today, Memorial Day, tomorrow, the weekend, a lot of places, again, Andrea's down celebrating it down in, she says it's God country. I don't know.
Iowa.
It is.
That's what I heard.
When did you go to Texas? I don't.
Right.
No, I love Texas too. You were good.
I didn't think she's anywhere near Wyoming, so I don't know what she's talking about. But
she's certainly not in Sweet Tea Land. She's certainly not in Sweet Tea Land. So.
Mark, can I offer my 2 cents here? Because
absolutely, brother.
You know I've always got a little bit of an opinion here about a few things every once in a while. I get what you guys are saying. I totally get it. I do think that sometimes we veterans, the veteran community, goes a bit overboard with the solemnity, and I totally get it. I get I get the reaction, when you hear Happy Memorial Day. But I think about the brothers and sisters that we lost, right? And I have a hard time imagining that they want us to sit there mournful and depressed all day, right? I mean, I can only speak for myself because I'm alive. But when I go, I hope that people remember me with glasses raised and music playing and big celebrations and barbecue. So I think that there's something that gets missed sometimes when we're talking about this. Yes, we want to remember the folks who've died. We never want to forget their sacrifice, all of that. But enjoy the hell out of the day in their honor.
Absolutely.
When I read. I guess I'm kind of a nerd, but I was going back. I think I was reading the Odyssey or the Iliad or one of the two, and they were talking about these sacrifices that were happening on the boat. And you think about a sacrifice as being this horribly depressing thing, but they were offering a sacrifice to one of their Greek gods, and it was it was a barbecue, man. They were roasting some animal on boat, and they were chowing down and having a good time, and it was a sacrifice in the sense that they were offering their joy, they were offering their celebration for this entity, this god, whatever. But I guess what I want to say is, it's don't forget the reason for the celebration, but you can honor the dead through celebration too.
I agree with you, and I guess so. So I love this conversation. It's my frustration comes in this part of the conversation. And I had the chance to do this. I've never sat next to a brother who I've lost while I'm standing there with him in combat.
Yeah. But neither have I.
I don't know that and again, those are the ones I'm thinking about a lot. I think more of them, to be honest with you, during this day than the ones that we've lost, to be honest, because I agree with you on that part. I don't want to be a day of mourning, but I also want to make sure it's a day of support at the same time.
No, absolutely. I totally agree with you. But I also think that there's different ways to mourn and there's different ways to support. And all I'm saying is I think that sometimes the veteran community can get a little uppity about well-intentioned things.
Absolutely.
And I think that someone saying Happy Memorial Day, for example, like I get the veteran response that says this is not a happy day. I totally get it. But happy words spoken in ignorance should still be accepted with the love that that's intended. When someone's saying Happy Memorial Day, they're not in any way trying to minimize anything. They're just saying, man, I hope you have a good day with you and your family.
That's a great point.
And I think yes, there's a point to educate, but I think we got to be careful about browbeating and
Sure.
And whatnot. And it's okay. It's okay to have a good day with your family. And I love what Brian said about taking that national moment of silence and taking the time to remember, hey folks, this is why we're doing this. For me, it kind of reminds me of the idea of like an Irish wake, where you go to someone's wake and it's not just an opportunity to sit there and be sad, but it's a chance to tell stories. Well, but a lot of folks, they don't have the stories to tell because a lot of folks don't have that direct military connection, Yeah. And that's okay because we joined for them too. So I totally get what you're saying, and I think that we just have to be careful about the balance.
I agree with you. Aaron wants us to remember the crew at Fort Hood at Iron Horse Gym that was doing SRP back in 2007. Absolutely, let's remember them. And cheers. We had some really awesome opportunities on our Facebook page this week to remember some people and allow people to say some names, say some names that lost during this time, and we celebrated that and celebrated those lives and made sure those names were said and got in some amazing dynamic conversations with a couple of people, and thank you for all those people that were there and wanted to take part in that. Thank you. Let your loved ones be remembered forever. Let your loved ones be remembered forever. Sorry to hear that, Aaron. Aaron's got a good dialogue going on. If you're on the Facebook page now, just talking, and I'm sure Aaron's dealing with a little bit of survivor's remorse based on that, and we're with you, brother. Stick with us. Let's hear the story, and bless you for your service, and thank you for your service.
And if in any way you feel alone there, Aaron, just remember you got brothers and sisters all around you, and you're only a message or a phone call away. And we got folks all around the country who would love to reach out to you and show love and support to you.
Absolutely,
with whatever you need.
The one of the big touching ones for me this year, and I'm just going to share it. We have a dear friend up here in Minnesota who lost their spouse during COVID. Lost their spouse during COVID due to cancer that they attained because of some of the things that they did in service. She never got to be by his side during that whole thing. And I'm just bringing this kind of as an awareness. And again, I don't want this to be somber, but it's loading up for the song we're going to play here. I saw your guitar there too, Doug. Are you ready to lay one down tonight?
Dude, I got a couple for you. I've got a buddy of mine wrote a song that I think would be very appropriate for today or for tomorrow. But yeah, you just tell me when you want. I'm here for you.
No, we're here, man. This is good. Let's get through this, and then we'll get the Kim Donnett Band song up. They sent it just to us. They just launched it this week. We've been celebrating the families. We've been celebrating the spouses and the loved ones that have been standing next to our soldiers and our first responders. It's important. I know the mission probably would not get done if we didn't have these amazing people of support. And this individual I'm speaking of sat by their spouse for years, dealt with the cancer at the end, didn't get to say goodbye in any way. They actually had a burial for their spouse without them even being in attendance. And for the first time this weekend, they actually got to go graveside and share in the celebration of that life. And I can't imagine they're the only ones that have been in the situation. And I just, if you have a special thought and a special moment for those that had to go through this ordeal this last year, we're thinking about you. We're with you. We'd like to hear the stories. Scotty Sexton, Patriot Pride all the way. Thank you, brother. That's why we do what we're doing. I literally got this song on Friday morning. I got a letter of the story this individual shared with me, and I bet you it didn't take me 8 minutes to send the song back over to this person just because of how impactful it is. This is something that we've been talking about for the good year. It's about making sure we get our loved ones are coming. They're sitting in your house, but that doesn't mean that they're home. They came back to you, but that doesn't mean they're home. And I think some of our spouses and some of our loved ones, every time that first responder runs out the door, a chunk of them goes with them every single time. I want to get everybody home. I want to get all of our soldiers home. I want to get all of our first responders home. And I want to get all that support personnel home. That's our mission. This is Kim Donnett.
Was a young boy when he left, shoulder square, purpose set. He would defend his country's honor, be a proud returning vet. He wasn't ready for the dark. Wasn't ready for the war. And year after he wonders what's the fighting for. And there's a distance in his gait, there's a sorrow in his step. Country, but he's jaded and upset. He still fights off the darkness. He still feels the pain of war, and his peace is left intact on a bloody foreign shore. Come home the way home. Don't stand in the memories, don't linger too long. It's okay to cry, doesn't trying hard to make it, and he wants so to fit in, but sometimes he just can't take it. When those memories rush in, come home, come all the way home. Don't stand in the memories, don't linger too long. It's okay to cry, doesn't mean you're not strong. Don't stay in the past, it's not where you belong. Come home, come all the way home. Don't stay in the memories, don't linger too long. It's okay to cry, doesn't mean you're not strong. Don't stay in the past, it's not where you belong. Oh, come all the way home.
We'd like to thank the Kim Dunnett Band for letting us use that and put that out today. There's a couple pieces there that just let's get them all the way home, boys and girls. Let's get them all the way home. That's why we got your 6 at 6. That's also why we do our buddy checks. Make sure you are calling. And again, I challenge you to put that alarm set up for 3 o'clock tomorrow and reach out to your brothers and sisters. Yeah, it's just, that's it. We're there. We're done. We'll get it there. So Doug says he's going to make us laugh and then he's going to make us cry.
That's right, because that's the kind of cruel bastard I am. No. I wrote a new song this morning, or at least part of a new song. You hear it? Do you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
So I was at church this morning, and we were having a conversation about one of the pastors and whether or not all the technical stuff was set up correctly. And someone said to me, and I said, if it's wrong, then it's all Kyle's fault. This is what it amounts to. And Kyle being the associate pastor there, and they said, well, if it refresh my memory. This is actually a veteran who says, they said, refresh my memory. Does Sesame Street have a blame game song? And I said, if they don't, I'll write one. And so I sat down. And I say, and by sat down, I mean like wrote this impromptu as I was singing it. So it goes, it's your fault. It's all your fault. It's not my fault, oh no, it's your fault. I didn't make any big mistake. Oh no, it's your fault. And so that was the new song this morning right there.
That was amazing.
That was
You
great,
need
right?
to expand that out, record it. Because
it's gonna happen. That's
I had that same discussion as with the meeting today about volunteers and helping, and I got a couple volunteers right now. They're playing that blame game. I don't care. I don't care. It didn't happen. So hey, let's get it done. I don't care whose fault it was.
So, today being Memorial Day Eve, I was reminded of a song that my buddy Stephen Covell wrote. Have you guys had Stephen on?
Have not.
Stephen Covell. He's a hard one to pin down. So Covell, he's an Operation Encore artist, and he was with them longer than I was, actually, but he was a combat medic. And those combat medics, they get deployed, they see some crap, And this is a song that he doesn't perform live anymore, and I love it. And so I'm going to perform it live on his behalf. How about that? This is called On That River, and he said it's inspired by multiple true events. In the dark on a road in the heart of Iraq, walked by a river that flowed through the black. And I asked you, the waters, how long till we're done? With the heart of a child with his hand on a gun. Boys walked around me, or men, so they say. All looked to the water with thoughts far away. All liars and jokers and brothers were we. They'll say we were heroes, they'll say what they please. And I was running, even then. I was running, suppose I still am. With a flash the night lit up and we hit the ground. Surrounded by fire and deafening sound. When all had gone quiet, those hours felt like years. And the boys and I laughed to hold back the tears. Back from patrol, I tended their wounds. With their blood and their sweat on my hands and my boots. And I packed up the bodies of boys in their prime. With a hand on their shoulder, we laughed one more time. I was running, even then. I was running, suppose I still am. Later that evening, alone in my bed, I think on that river about what she said. In the dark on a road in the heart of Iraq, I lost something sacred I'll never get back.
There it is.
Mm-hmm. I think he put it in. I think Stephen is just a wonderful, wonderful. Well, he's a wonderful human being and one of the funniest men I've ever met in my life. He so quick-witted. I can never keep up with him. And he's based in Austin, and I hope I get to see him when I go to Texas. But man, he has a way with words, and he just captures it. There's a wonderful music video you need to check out called "Her Cold Hands" that he did, and he had some wonderful ballet dancers who illustrated it. But it's a song, and it's a heavy topic, so this is one of those trigger warning thingies, where he writes about sort of the dance with death, the dance with death personified as a woman, his struggles with suicide, and how ultimately how she'll wait. She can wait. Girls like that always come back, is what he says. But it's a beautiful video. If you get a chance to go check that out, "Her Cold Hands" by Stephen Covell. Beautiful, beautiful song.
Do you know, because I was just going from the hip here and I threw some stuff up on our link. Is he a PHEN or is he a VEN?
What the heck does that mean?
How do you spell his name?
Well, Stephen, STEPHEN or STEVEN.
Oh, I got you. You know what? You went well. You did Steve Covell. I think he's a VEN.
Okay.
No, he's a PEH.
Well, what do I know? I just call him Covell.
Okay. All right.
STEPHEN.
But he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and he's a chef, and he's a author, and he wrote a book. It still hasn't been published yet, and I'm kind of pissed off about that. Damn it, Stephen, you're making me wait. But he wrote a book called "Bring Your Gun to Work Day."
No, I can't do that.
And it's simultaneously just absolutely like it'll have you rolling in laughter 1 minute and just weeping the next. It's I know he's not happy with it. He's doing the author thing and rewriting and editing and all that crap. But dude,
Andrea, are you there? And no, that's not the way I want. There she is.
I'm here. Yes.
You had a question, you said.
Okay, so I do, and it's on a little serious note. And I was in a conversation with somebody earlier on Facebook. I read a whole thread about the thank you. I have a little confusion as a civilian because the thank you is very difficult because and I'm speaking for a lot of people that I don't know, but we don't know what to say, but we want you to know that we are 100% behind you. And I know that like Mark's reaction and words earlier, especially this weekend, they don't want to be told thank you. You don't. Some of you don't want to be told thank you. And it makes it very difficult for me as I'm walking through, my gosh. So the graves, I like to stop at each one. I like to say thank you to their headstones and the flags next to their headstones. But if a person walking by has their veteran hat on, what should I say to them then? How do I mean, I'm not going to go by and just say hi. What do I say? Where'd you serve?
No, we remember too.
Okay, that's perfect. I mean, I need the words because I don't want to offend anybody.
That's to me, it's not thank you. We remember too. That should be the Memorial Day greeting from civilians to veterans. Is we remember too, and then that breaks the ice, and then we can say, yeah, because we all remember.
I absolutely love it.
All right, I've got a few thoughts on this, and the more of this wonderful Woodford Reserve that I get in me, the more thoughts I have on this subject. So, first of all, let me say this. I don't like when people say thank you for your service. It bugs me. It bothers me. That being said, shame on me if I'm ever rude to anyone that says it. Because look, this goes back to what I was saying earlier about the Happy Memorial Day, where veterans get their panties all in a wad because people don't say the right thing. And you know what, guys? We're tougher than that, and we ought to be tougher than that. And frankly, we should be grateful for the well-intentioned ignorance of the people who don't get it, because they're being sincere to us. And honestly, it's on us, and we're the assholes in this situation, because we're turning around and taking these well-intentioned sentiments and saying, well, you're not saying the right thing. Screw us. You know what? The civilians out there are saying things because they truly, truly feel it for us. And shame on us for shaming them for saying the wrong thing. So that's the first thing. Second thing, I like the idea of, yes, we remember too. I do love that. I do appreciate that. But at the same time, I think sometimes the most important thing you can say is nothing. I mean, honestly, I don't like being singled out. Like, I appreciate the gratitude, and I'm never going to be rude to someone who says thank you for your service, and that means the world to me that you're thinking about me. But honestly, it's when someone walks by me with those veteran hats on, it's like they're walking around with a giant scar on their face, right? You see the scar, but you don't have to acknowledge it. They're wearing it so that the world can see. And sometimes that's all that needs to be said about it. I mean, it's just see it. They're not looking for affirmation. They're not looking for anything else. They're just wearing it to be seen. And in my humble opinion, as the Army bandsman who went to Iraq for 15 months, has like the least right to say anything of anyone. Dude, my fellow brothers and sisters, my brothers and sisters in arms, my fellow veterans, let's just stop being assholes to everyone and take a thank you when they say thank you.
I agree with you. I think it's an opportunity to educate. And I think being in the role as an educator, I think it is time. I mean,
I don't know if that's always appropriate.
Yeah. No.
I don't know that that's always appropriate. I guess that's where I'm coming from, is that when people are saying thank you for your service or thank you whatever, I just don't know that it's worthwhile. I mean, they're expressing a sentiment. Honestly, I usually respond with something wise ass like, thank you for the college money.
Well, and I think it also depends on the level of the relationship. I mean, first of all, 90% of the time, if you're walking down the road, no one's going to know you're a veteran unless you're wearing your Vietnam hat or your boat hat or whatever you're wearing, or you're wearing something. And they may ask, "Hey, are you a former service member, veteran, or deployed or enlisted now?" And you have the chance. Now that's created a dialogue for you to say, this is where I'm at. And again, I think it's time and place on every one of these conversations. It may not be, you're right. It may not be the time. It may not be the place. It may not be the point. And it goes along with the same conversation about, I don't always stand when they ask for service members to stand, to be honest with you.
Right. Because I appreciate my anonymity, honestly.
Well, the anonymity and the fact that I think there were a lot of brothers and sisters that gave, and now this opens a whole nother swarm of questions or dialogue, because I got a lot of brothers that come to me and say, "Oh, you gotta," I don't gotta, but thank you for your opinion. They're like, no matter what level. Now, I will openly say this here. And this was the conversation that we had with someone that was on our page this week. If you served, you are part of us.
Yep.
And you will always be part of us. I don't care what your MOS was. I don't care what, if you signed that dotted line, you served. And you're part of us. And us is a whole different level of something. Now, I don't necessarily walk around and say, well, us is better than them's. And that's not the point I'm trying to make either. But service members did something more than everyone else did. And that's the truth. First responders do more than what others have done.
I had that same conversation in my page with REMPs. Excuse me? Are you going to help REMPs? So I said, hey, what's a REMP? And I know what it is. You know what it is. I said, brother, there's no difference in my world. They put on the uniform. They need help. That's what we're here for.
Yep. I'll give an unpopular opinion inside of veteran circles here, and I'm full of them. And the more Woodford Reserve I get inside of me, the more unpopular this is going to get. But here's the deal: every single person who raises their right hand and swears in, right? They're a soldier, a Marine, a sailor, an airman first. I don't give a crap what their MOS is, right? There is the potential for them to go in harm's way. Like when I signed up for the band, did I in any way imagine that it was even remotely possible that I would spend 15 months getting rockets and mortars shot at my ass in Iraq? No. But that happened. And I knew, and I actually did know on some level when I signed up. Look, there's a chance that something could happen. I don't know. My dad was a career Navy man, and he told me when I left. He said, like, I don't care if you're in the band. War comes, you have a chance to go and fight in a war. You know. But look, the guys who the pogues or whatever they call them, you know, the people on the ground who are doing admin stuff, who are, you know, doing ammo stuff or whatever, they're contributing in their own way. Yeah, they may not be kicking in the damn doors, but they're part of the damn effort.
Right.
Well, again, you know? as I called out to him, look, man, I'm a medic. I am not combat arms. The medical corps has never been combat arms, right? He goes,
question I'm going to tell him about.
But you
tell us about something.
Okay.
You went and you were on patrol with the grunt, so you're a grunt. I'm like, no, dude. You know, it takes 5 people to put that one guy through the door.
You were a combat medic? I didn't know that about you, dude. I gotta say, I think in my experience, combat medics and corpsmen have some of the biggest balls of anyone that I've ever encountered, and I think that it takes. I count you guys as a special class of heroes, even if you don't. And here's the thing: like, I will never call myself a hero or a war hero because I've met so many people who have been, and I'm honored that I raised my right hand and I served and all that shit. But man, I hold corpsmen and combat medics in such special regard because in the middle of death and destruction, you guys are there saving, like trying to actively save lives. And there's something to me that is extra beautiful and extra heroic about that. And I don't give a shit whether you agree with me or not. And that's the Woodford talk.
Well,
Okay. I have
go ahead.
We got a question from the gallery.
I'm Julie. I'm Andrea's cousin. And, you know, I'm going back to the thank yous and things. I work in a nursing home.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm a social worker. And, you know, so we have a lot of veterans, like most of the gentlemen. We even have a few women that have been in the military. And they, you know, at that age, you know, they're coming to the nursing home to us. And, you know, they like being, you know, thanked, and they like being remembered, you know, at all of our programs and things like that. So they're always very, you know, they're always very appreciative of us being appreciative. I mean, I just wanted to let you guys know that, you know, because the older population, you know, I've seen, you know, residents come in, you know, and they've never talked about what they went through in their whole, you know, lives with their family. And suddenly they're telling us, you know, because they have dementia or whatever the case may be. But they're, you know, I had a gentleman tell me, you know, about being in World War II and actually getting on a train, you know, and it's full of people that were gone, you know, that were gassed, and, you know, just things like that, you know, that we hear and try to, you know, support them through, you know, their old age and stuff. So it was just very interesting to listen to you guys tonight, but I just know that the older population that we get, because we have a lot of vets, you know, they like being, you know, told thank you. So,
Well, and
Absolutely.
I agree with you. I do think that our greatest generation individuals do kind of need to have, and they do enjoy, and they do appreciate. They want to know that what they did or what they went through, which is a lot more than what this era of soldier has gone through. And I'm not minimizing anything. I'm not minimizing the Desert Storm era. Those guys. I mean, they definitely were in the middle of it. But our greatest generation soldiers, there was no hiding from where they were at. There was no hiding from. I mean, they were the front line of going in, and there's a ton of, and I can only imagine. And again, the dementia pieces and the pieces where they are starting to remember, and the pieces where they are starting to relive that, because that's part of the recessive living process, is going back to that. I can only imagine the amount of pain that gets welled up in that process. And they probably do.
It can be, yes. Yeah.
Well, look. Okay, so my grandfather was a World War II vet. He was a
I
tank
think
driver.
it goes back to what Mark was saying earlier of knowing who you're speaking to and
Yep.
directing
Well,
it to. I mean,
Well, no, I
if
agree
you
with you,
know
Andrea.
your clients and you know that they
Andrea,
yes,
can you hear Doug?
no.
Okay. I will, Doug, give Andrea a thumbs up when you're done talking, because you're speaking over him, and that's fine. I didn't figure you could hear him, so go ahead, Doug.
Well, she started talking with that sexy Midwestern accent, and I had to shut up automatically anyway. So,
Andrea, be happy you cannot hear Doug.
well, I just look. My grandfather was a tank driver in World War II, right? And he carried the war with him up until the day he died. You know, and he was part of one of the groups that they liberated a concentration camp, and I mean that'll mess with you, you know. But he was always very quiet about it. I think different people express it different ways, and honestly, I think that the greatest generation handled it better than we do. In that they appreciated the thanks. And I'm looking at LJ's comment here. If we're not supposed to say thank you for your service, what is more appropriate to say? And I would say, screw our feelings. If you're appreciative, say thank you. And it's on us to not be assholes to you, and to be appreciative of the fact that you are appreciating us. You know,
I agree with you.
Agreed on that, but let's go back to the greatest generation, right? They didn't do a year tour or 15 months.
No, they didn't. They did.
They went to Africa,
years.
then over to Italy, then up to Europe. You know, when they left, 100%. They were gone 4 or 5 years fighting a war.
Yeah, 100%. And so, like, yeah, they deserve
everything.
They deserve everything. But listen, Brian, when were you deployed? You were deployed, right?
A few times, yeah.
Okay. Where were you deployed?
Iraq, Afghanistan.
Okay, and you were a combat medic. Were you ever involved in any direct fights?
Yeah.
Okay, Brian, let me tell you something that you don't want to hear. You deserve thanks too. You deserve respect too, and it's not about comparing whose dick is bigger between you and the greatest generation. You deserve respect and thanks, and I thank you for your damn service too. Okay. Because what you did was something that was beautiful in service to your country, and it was hard, and it was brutal, and it's something that's going to affect you for the rest of your damn life. And you deserve the thanks. And I don't give a shit if you don't like it or if you're uncomfortable with that. Thank you for your damn service.
Say thank you back.
Thank you. It's that. It's Well, even okay. This past week, okay, I've had some serious conversations. Okay, you all know it's a God thing with me, right? And I don't apologize about it, right?
Sure.
This one guy goes, dude, I wish I had your faith. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, you are just so faithful. I'm like, explain that to me. He goes, you have to raise millions of dollars to get this facility up and running, and you're not sweating it. He goes, when you say God's got your six, he goes, you mean it. Yeah. Have we gotten our bumps in the road? Yeah. But we're starting to get traction again. Now I'm waiting for Satan to come from the left and just kick us in the teeth again, but he can't beat 2020. So, hey, come on, bring it. You know?
So we've got a couple of guests. They're asking, and because you said it, Brian, we're going to let you handle the question.
Uh-oh.
They want to know, what is a round?
It's rear echelon M Epper.
People in the back. They're typically known as clerical sometimes.
Supply jockeys. But again, there's no such thing of that in my world because, again, it takes 5 service and support people to put that one guy through the door fighting the bad guy in Iraq or Afghanistan. I had that discussion with a young lady who was a water purification specialist, right? The VFW was highlighting her. She just came back from a tour. And she's like, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. I was like, what do you mean you don't? I said, yeah, you weren't out kicking me indoors, but you know what? I had clean water in my little pack there, so I could go do that.
The mission doesn't happen without these people.
Yeah, there's no such thing.
The mission doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And, it's not everyone can be the quarterback in the field. Not everyone can be the receiver. You got to have your support personnel, and the mission doesn't continue without them. And that's the bottom line. And, we're our own worst enemies as enlisted and as veterans, and the fact that, there are people that do end up having these kinds of conversations, and it's whack. It's totally whack. And you don't get to do your job unless there's the support personnel behind you, making sure you have food, making sure you have water, a place to sleep, and
showers. These are just little creature comforts.
Ammunition for your weapon.
Yeah.
Clip for your weapon. I mean, all that's needed.
Yeah. When you go spend 5 days patrolling in southern Baghdad in 140 degrees and you come back and there's a shower.
Powder. Need baby powder.
Yeah, but there's a shower. You're like, where'd that come from? That's important.
And to be honest, when they go the extra mile to make sure you're not eating an MRE and maybe get to eat a steak instead of a dried porklet. It's all needed. It's all awesome.
It's all perfect. I mean, it's a team effort.
It is.
So I had one more thought there for Brian. Because the Woodford is in full effect, and my daughters just brought me fresh baked cornbread.
Oh man!
But you someone commented that the folks that were in the Greatest Generation, they were gone for 3, 4, 5 years. And Brian, if the situation had been different, that would have been your ass too, and you would have done it willingly, and you would have done it well. So don't give me this comparison bullshit.
Oh, no, brother. Look, I'm not comparing, okay? I'm just saying, I got multiple combat tours. Right?
I'm saying that they were badasses, but I'm saying don't downplay your damn
Look,
shit.
Brother, I'm here. My grandfather was with the 1st Infantry Division on Normandy, right? He literally lost a testicle to a German machine gun. Okay.
That is a well-placed round.
He did. But now check this.
Yeah.
His son, my uncle,
Mm-hmm.
served with the 1st Infantry Division in Vietnam.
Wow.
I served with the 1st Infantry Division in Desert Storm.
Mm-hmm.
And my son served with the 1st Infantry Division in Iraqi Freedom. Okay, so look, when I say we badasses, yeah, we are, because we got 4 generations. Of
You got that legacy going, man.
Yeah.
All of you with first ID, that's incredible.
You're telling me. That was like, and I didn't put it all together until the Society of the 1st Infantry Division said, hey, you guys know that ding, 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 ding. And we were like, no, we didn't notice any of it.
I guess what I'm trying to say here, brother, plain and simple, thank you for your damn service.
And thank you for yours. All right. Look, and yeah, look, the band.
You'd have done what you would have done what you had to do.
Yeah, and even then, I remember back to the Battle of the Bulge, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 101st Band.
Holy crap, you're old. You remember the Battle of the Bulge?
I studied it for a paper, but even the band manned foxholes.
Amen.
You know, it was, hey, yeah, we're not going to need that. Here's an M1. Go over there.
You know what? If you ever want a fun research project for you historian buffs, sometimes go look up how many military bandsmen have earned the Congressional Medal of Honor. It's shocking. There's this wonderful report, and I've quoted it before, and I may have told you guys about this before, and I don't give a shit. But there was a 20th century general who was talking about the band and the importance of the musicians, and he says something like, if the trombone player next to you gets shot, just keep playing loud because the troop need to hear your songs.
Oh boy!
Shit.
Oh boy!
Anyway,
I want to highlight
Mark,
Kim
I'm gonna mute
Ostrander, Rich Patterson's comment in the fact that she stands because I want girls to see women can be veterans too, and that's a great point.
Yeah.
Thank you for Kim. You keep standing. That is important, and it does tend to be heavy laden males, and it is important for all people to see that females and women were a vital part of our organizations in battle. And so thank you for doing that, Kim. Keep up and keep doing that. Aaron Cottenham, thank you for your great comments tonight and being here. Important stuff. There's a Facebook user. It's not coming up for me. If someone can help me out, maybe if it's on their feed. I don't get why people want to downplay what they do while serving. It's a piece. It's there. And I appreciate the comment, to be honest with you, because, again, it goes back to.
Do you think it has to do with like survivor's guilt, Mark? It's kind of like survivor's guilt. Like you say, like, well, I'm not like.
So I'm that guy a little bit. I mean, I did. I was. It's Trey. Trey Ryder. Awesome. Thanks, Trey. Great podcast as well. Check Trey out and go ahead and put your link up there, Trey, just so everyone can see it, and then they can reach out to you as well. Me and Trey are working on a project to do a marathon podcast. And put together some opportunities with some organizations. So,
in defense of that, I was always taught to be humble. It's, you know what I mean? It's not. I may have done some stupid things in my youth, running out in the fields of fire to grab a wounded guy. Okay, that was my job. You know what I mean?
I wasn't on the front lines ever. I mean, that's I hold a hierarchy, and I know where Doug will argue with me on this, and I get it. I totally do. I have all my appendages, all of them. I I didn't stand on the front lines. That's why I minimize, and I'll be honest, I do.
But if you had
But
the
I come on
chance,
here and
you
say-
would have. If that was
Absolutely.
required of you, you would have. So the situation is not your
Absolutely.
courage or your honor. It was the situation that you were placed in.
Well, and that's a gigantic piece of it, because here's an example. I mean, my son entered and wanted, and I hope he's not embarrassed by me throwing the stuff out there, but COVID has absolutely ruined his whole experience in the military. He had a RASP contract to go to be an Ranger with 1st Battalion. They're not putting him in school the way that they're supposed to because of COVID, and he's really struggling staying in right now. That's why he went. He wanted to do that. So just because you didn't get the job that you wanted, or that, you didn't score what you wanted to score on the ASVAB, they didn't put you where. I get all those pieces. You're right, Doug. I would have. That was in my heart. That was in my passion. That was in my to-do. And again, it comes down to, and I'm never going to – I love your words tonight, and the fact that I think, we shouldn't be dicks when people say thank you. I mean, thank you for making dinner. I mean, no one's going to – even if it was bad, you're going to, thank you for making dinner. It was mine. That was my thing. And I appreciate everyone that does say thank you and recognizes that's important. I guess part of it, and this is okay, what's the big argument? It's not an argument. It's not needed for me. Now, here's the other side of this. Every person that I see wearing a hat that shows that they were deployed or not deployed, I say thank you for your service. That's what we do.
But again, I've seen it, and I know you guys have seen it. That hat only comes out when they get a free meal.
That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother
can of worms.
So freaking what? It's like it's their badge of honor. They can wear it or not wear it when they want to.
Sure.
Like, look, if someone earns the damn Medal of Honor, right? There is nothing that obligates them to wear that CSM, that Congressional Medal of Honor 24/7, right? They can pull that shit out and not pull it out whenever the hell they want to do. And I don't care if a veteran who served pulls it out when they get free meals and puts it away when they don't. You know what? That's their own damn private part of their life. And I don't give a shit. It's not my business when they pull it out or when they don't pull it out. But you know what? When they pull it out, I want to hear about the stories. I want to hear their stories. I want them to know that I give a shit about them as people and about what they've done. And I don't give a shit if they only pull it out at Applebee's. You know what? They have earned their damn free meal at Applebee's.
There's some that don't ever take that meal at Applebee's. I mean, that's just, again, it's
yeah, exactly. And that's totally fine with me. You know what?
Yep.
It's not my damn business. My business is that when someone says to me, "Thank you for your service," my job is simply to not be an asshole.
Yeah, I agree. I
I totally agree. We need.
What
to
a great night!
a little bit better.
Great conversation. We could talk about this for forever, and I think we all understand. And Kim goes to the free meals so she can connect with other veterans. That's great.
Yeah.
And Kim has been a great supporter of the People's Patriot Project, and that is
I want to know
piece
Kim.
that we're looking.
Kim sounds like a badass.
Kim, I'm surprised she hasn't been to one of your concerts. She is the going to every single musician in the planet person, and so
well,
Kim, make sure you look out for
me on
the
Facebook.
real Doug Lane.
Do you know where Kim lives? Do you happen to know where Kim lives? Because I tell you what, hey Kim, I tell you what, if you're in Texas or Wyoming, message me, man. I'll give you a free ticket to whatever show whatever show I'm playing. And you sound like a badass. And I've never used the free meal to meet other
Oh, that
veterans.
is
I've never had that
Kansas.
luck.
I should have known that.
Well, damn it,
Kansas.
I'm not playing in Kansas.
Oh, you will. You will. We'll get you there. She's the one that hooked me up with Forgotten 22. Scotty
22?
Sexton.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think there is one thing that we should get Doug to do real quick before we wrap things up.
Yeah, what's that?
And I think Doug needs to tell us roughly what states he is playing in, and roughly when he's playing, so people can try to find him when he's on his tour.
Chad, I love you.
I love you too, man.
Love you so much. Okay, so here's the deal. We're leaving Utah on July 2nd. From July 2nd through July 4th, we have gigs every day in freaking Wyoming, which, by the way, the more time I spend in Wyoming, the more I realize I freaking love Wyoming. Don't let I-80 fool you. I-80 is like the ugliest stretch of land anywhere. But if you go away from I-80, Wyoming is freaking awesome. It's like the best kept secret anywhere. Okay, so after that, we're basically going to be in Texas the whole time. We do have one gig in Loveland, Colorado, which is up around Fort Collins, and love to see you there. But from between July 5th and July 20th, we're going to be playing we've got shows in the DFW area and in Pflugerville with Rooster with Mr. Diddy Katona. We've got something in Houston. We've got some in Corpus Christi, and then out in Midland, Texas, is looking to be a freaking awesome show. So if you can make it, Midland, I know, right? You know, my guitarist is from Midland, and his dad said, "Well, there's nothing else to do in freaking Midland. So if your band comes, you're gonna sell out the show because there's nothing else to do there." And I'm beginning to think he might be right. But it'll be a fun show out there.
It's oil and nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly. So it'll be a lot of fun. And I hope you guys come out. If you're coming, please hop online and buy some tickets. You can find them at bandsintown.com/TheRealDougLane.
There you go.
Awesome. So
And because I'm in Houston, and I'm sorry, Mark, but because I'm in Houston, I have this in my head. Doug will be playing at Dan Electro's on July what?
It's the day in July when we play. July 11th. I had to look that shit up. I don't know. There's a lot of dates. It's July 11th, which is a Sunday. It's going to be a fun show. There is limited seating at this point because of all the COVID stuff. They're still only doing 50. I know, right? They're doing 50% seating at this point. So be sure.
Oh God.
It'll be open.
So be sure you buy your ticket ahead of time so you still get a ticket. But yeah, it'll be a fun show. We're going to do a lot of mostly our original shit, and yeah, it's going to be a really good time.
Awesome. Brian, real quick, give us a brief about Operation Die Hard.
Project Die Hard?
Thank you.
We kicked off our Fill the Can challenge today. It's on our Facebook. I've shared it out. This is our annual fundraiser. If you want to support one of the businesses listed, the directions are there on our Facebook page. We're gearing up for the last week of July. That's all next week. I've done a few meetings this week that the Friday at 5 should be really good. So next Friday, tune in because we should have some good news then.
Awesome. Andrea, you got anything in closing?
No, I want to thank you all for being here, and I this was a good show. I certainly enjoyed it. Thank you.
Good questions. Thank you. Thank you for everyone that was on here. We didn't really get a chance to do much of our mission, and that's not important today. We're going to close this out, and just a little tribute to those that have served and those that we need to remember. Please remember tomorrow. Take time, set those alarms for 3 o'clock, and also know that you need to reach out to those that may need to hear a kind word or a comment of positivity. That's really what a thank you is. And so it's a great conversation, great dialogue. We did go a little over today, not a big deal, but we will see you next Sunday at We Got Your Six, Patriot Playtime. We will see you when the smoke clears. Patriot Pride.